Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is the day I mount my final Spark 143 model to the board and get it on the wall. If you looked at my last video about revealing all of my models, some are already on the wall, but I will show you the process of how I went about getting them to the board and put on the wall. So let's get to it. Okay, here's the board off the wall. I've already taken it off. I've got the last car right here ready to go. You can see a little bit of what is going on underneath these cars. These are little shims that I made to get the car upright. We've got 3M strips right here that we're going to place on the back of the base plate, and then we're going to secure it via Velcro to the board. Okay, we've got the Lamborghini right here. I've already taken it out of the box and removed the side stickers and removed the holding tape on it. So we're going to secure it with our own tape in a minute, but the first step to do is to secure it to the board with these Velcro strips. As you can see, we've already got the shims down, and we've already done some pre-work by getting the first strip of Velcro to the board. We've got these leftover pieces right here that we're going to attach to the base plate. So in order to do that, we're just going to line these back up. Push these down so you get these nice, secure Velcro sound. Okay, those are on. Now we're going to attach this 7/8 brace that I made to help get the cars aligned on the board. And we're just going to clamp it down real quick. Now we got the base attached. This will really be good, and it gives us a little bit of resistance to get the car lined up. Now we're going to peel off the sticky side for the base plate. And now we're going to attach the car to the board. You want to get it lined up, and then you just press 30 seconds on the jewel case. Okay, now that we've pressed it, we can remove the jewel case and press just a little bit more direct pressure on the base plate itself. And put the jewel case back on to protect the car. And now the trickiest part, we have to lift the car off the board. I'm going to take off the brace to give me a little bit more leverage. Okay, it's working. There we go. We've got the sticky part on the base plate. And now all we do is press on these 30 seconds and move down the strip. Okay, now that we've got the strips on the base plate and on the board already, we're gonna let this cure overnight, but we're gonna attach the jewel case back to the car. And what I do, since we've got the strips down the middle, is I use a piece of clear 3M tape. We're gonna hit the edges on the back and go down the sides. We're going to do the other side as well. This will create a hinge, and it will further strengthen the back. And because it's clear, you won't see it when it gets put on the board. Can't even really see it, especially when it's hung up like that. And now it's on a hinge. You leave the front clear because that's what viewers are going to see the most. So you're trying to hide all your securing and all your fasteners to the naked eye. Now that we have the Lamborghini curing overnight, let's get more in depth about this process, how I came up with the idea about getting these cards on the board and to the wall. Okay, so I've got these windows that are in my race room, and what I wanted to do was put these cars up here right above the window. It's the most perfect spot for them. As you can see, I don't really have a lot of wall room for shelves or display cases. So I thought, what a cool idea to put them up in this little area right here along all the windows. So this is the last one I've got. I've already got the holes pre-drilled. So let me show you where I'm at right now. This is the board that the cars are going to go on. It's just a piece of board that I got at Lowe's, and how I decided to mount these so it wouldn't be non-destructive to the cars and the base plates was to use these Velcro 3M strips to secure them to the board and to each other. So they're non-destructive. This is the only thing that's actually attached to the base plate. And as you know, with command strips, they easily come off, don't leave any residue, and it just protects the investment. So the reason why I have these shims is because if you notice when you lay the car down on the base plate is flat. It created a little bit of an angle, and I didn't like that. So I had to figure out how to get the front end raised so that it was flush. And I came up with the idea of using these full packing sheets that are really thin. And so what I did is I just laid them up till they got flush with the 3M strip. And when I lay the car on it, it was flush. So these are 3 layers deep. This took a lot of work, 3 layers deep. And then I've spaced out for this window, I've spaced out 12 cars can go on that window. And why they're kind of U-shaped is because this is where the 3M Velcro strips are going to go. So the Velcro strips are hidden, they're flush, and you don't see them. So let's get to mounting them, and I'll show you how they snap in. And once they're on, all we have to do, since I pre-drilled, is take the car off, drill it in, and then put the car back on the wall. So if I ever want to rearrange them or sell any or get new ones, all I have to do is take them off, redo it, and pop them back on. So you can interchange them, and it looks really great. Okay, I'm gonna start with the second car because I have to drill the hole into the wall and mount the first car while it's on the board. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the second car. I'm just gonna open this up. And I think since I've already reviewed these, yeah, I've already taken off all the stickers because it needs to be clean. And as you can see, it just lifts right off. But we're gonna leave the jewel case on. And I just want to inspect the jewel case to make sure everything looks really good. If there's any type of discrepancies or anything like that that needs to be cleaned, we'll do a little Windex, but I think this is good to go. I've also made a little spacer that's the exact width, and this is what I use to line up all the shims. So I got all the shims ready to go. And now that the shims are on, this will really help. This will also help secure it so you give something hard to push on. Okay, got the clamps. We're going to clamp down just for some added resistance so I can line it up, and it's all going to be flush at the bottom. I'll show you how I'm mounting them once I get them all done, but you may already kind of know what it's going to look like. First, we do the strips. And just to secure it, I do 4 or 2 pairs on there just to give it a little bit of extra hold, because as you know, these things are valuable and you don't want them falling off and in the middle of the night. Okay, so with the Velcro, we break them off, put them together. Hear that? That lets you know it's a good seal. Okay, we've got the spacers that I've already cut out for these. Here goes. We're going to peel off one layer. This is going right here as best I can get it, as flush as I can get it. We are securing this to the board. Put it right in there. Kind of hold. Peel off the top layer. Now we're going to mount the Porsche Pink Pig, the number 2. This is the second car in the row. So it's already there. Actually, we don't need this jewel case right now because I want to get it lined up as best as possible. You put the jewel case back on and you press down on the car for 30 seconds. Now it's off the car. Now we got them separated, and now we just press individually on these and let them, if you really want, you can let them cure for like overnight and then attach it. But so right now, gonna set this aside. Gonna push down on these for 30 seconds. Okay, now you put the jewel case back on and you press down on these and you hold for 30 seconds. And go down the strip and hold for 30 seconds. Okay, now that we got our 3M strips on our base plate and on the board, we're just gonna let this sit overnight, but we can go ahead and attach the jewel case. So now the jewel case goes on, and then this is where we'll do the tape. And with this transparent tape, you don't even see it. So there it is. I've taped it to the back, and I've got the 3M strip on there curing, and it can be raised up if you want to check it out. Other than that, it's protected and ready to go. And now we just do the same process all the way down the board. Here's a montage of me putting all the fasteners on the board and securing the Velcro strips to the back of the base plates. Even though it's a tedious process, the end result is spectacular. It's the next day and I've let all the adhesive cure, so now we're ready to mount the cars to the board. Okay, we're leaving this car unmounted so we can screw this into the wall. So we'll start with car 2. I've already got my strips, they're already adhesed and it's already adhesed to the board. So now we just line it up and we push. And it's on. And what's great about it is that it's super easy to take off and adhere. So let's continue down the row. This is a very easy process because we've already got the Velcro strips attached, so all we have to do is just attach the Velcro pieces together. Okay, here's what it looks like with the cars mounted. They're all on the board, all attached to the shims, and this whole thing can be picked up and moved around. So if I ever move or whatever, then all I have to do is unscrew this and lift this whole thing up rather than take every individual car off. This whole thing comes off as a unit. And what's really great is you can raise them up if you want to check them out because we've hinged the back. So that's really cool. But if I can, let me go ahead and see if I can just raise these up a little bit. Now, when it gets hung, we won't be able to do this, but here they are. And this looks so amazing. Them all lined up next to each other. It really makes for a cool collection when you have them all together in a row. All that's left is attaching the board to the wall and then putting the first and last car on the board itself. So here's my dad and I mounting the board to the wall. We've already got the screw hole drilled into the wall because this board was mounted. It's been up for a while because I wasn't sure when I was going to get that last car. We had to put the screw hole underneath the first and last car, so it completely hides the mounting points. And once the screw's drilled in, you just put the car back on the Velcro. And this is actually the hardest part because you don't really have a lot of force, especially where I'm hanging them above the window. So I'm actually extending my body to get those cars attached to the board. But here is my prototype board. It is a full 24 car grid and it looks incredible. All 24 cars lined up side by side. And this is such an amazing spectacle to see in person when you can get real up close to them, which is why I love that I recorded this video. And sorry that it's a little shaky. It's hard to kind of walk and film really slow when you're going across 24 cars, but the insanity of them all lined up looks amazing. And here is my dad and I. You can actually get a sense of the scale of how long it is. We've actually put these spacers above the windows to help us get it lined up because it's going to be floating. And just like the last GT board, the first and last car are off. And here I am lining it up, putting that first car on and getting it secured to the board. And here it is, the full display, all 48 Spark cars mounted above the windows in the race room. I'm so thrilled with how this turned out, and it's even better than I imagined. I'm amazed that the cars fit perfect in that space and that my vision for displaying them worked like a charm. I'm over the moon, and I hope you're pleased as well with how it turned out. Well, that completes my journey, the story behind all the cars, and the reviews themselves. I'm so thankful each and every one of you joined me for this series. I don't know what else to do now. I'm kind of glad it's over, but I might be doing something more in the not too distant future. Thank you so much for staying with me through this 1-year journey. I'm so overwhelmed by the support, the comments, the likes, the shares. If you're new to the channel and want to subscribe, that would be amazing. Your support's really going to help. I've got more content on the way soon. And as always, I will see you in the next one.